what's happening in Washington, D.C., but this is a rally. This is what it looks like when you're not compensating for something. I think they call that small dictator energy. Look, there's a lot to be upset about right now. We've got a budget bill that seeks to strip health care away from 14 million Americans, that seeks to strip food assistance away to the tune of $300 billion. We've got a president defying court orders, firing veterans, attacking our most vulnerable communities, and we've got ICE raiding our community. All at the hands of somebody who is putting on full display who he works for. Stealing from the poor to give to the rich. Stealing from the many to give to the few. Chipping away at our democracy every day. But I'll tell you what, you know what gives me hope? That in the face of all of that adversity, you all are here right now. It would be easy to give up. With the cards stacked against us, it would be simple. They want us to feel powerless and small and weak. And yet, despite all of that, you all showed up here today. And unlike those 6,600 troops in Washington, D.C., no one was ordered to be here. No one was paid to be here. We are here because we want to be here. We are here because we are sending a message that Donald Trump and the GOP may run the House, they may run the Senate, they may run the White House, they may think they have power, but you know what power looks like? It is this. This is power. It is hundreds of thousands of Angelinos. It is our brothers and sisters in New York and Chicago and Philadelphia and San Francisco and San Diego and Phoenix and Miami and millions more Americans in 2,000 cities across the United States. We don't need soldiers. We don't need tanks. We don't need jets. This right here is what we need. This is what powers our democracy. This right here is what gives me hope. Democracy doesn't just happen. Democracy works when you fight for it. Now, right now, is the time to fight. Now is the time to show up. No one is coming to save us. This right here is what saves us. So when you all look back 5, 10, 20, 30 years from now, and your kids and your grandkids ask you what you did, make sure that you tell them that you fought back to ensure that we keep this country that we love so much intact. And the way that we do that is by ensuring that we have no king in the United States of America. Thank you, everybody. We're here at the No Kings Day protest in downtown Los Angeles. This is the flagship protest here in downtown LA. We've got, I can't imagine there's anything less than hundreds of thousands of people here, which is exactly what we needed in the face of Donald Trump obviously hosting, his military rally in Washington, D.C., attempting so hard to make sure that he's the center of attention. But we've got hundreds of thousands of people here in LA. I'm sure there are hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people in every other city, in New York, in Chicago, in Philadelphia, in San Diego, San Francisco, Miami, Austin, Dallas, everywhere in this country. We have almost 2,000 protests happening right now. So if you're looking for something to trump what Donald Trump is doing in Washington, D.C., where he had a parade, but he had to pay people to be there. He had to make sure that he handed down orders for people to get here. This is what that does. This is what that offers. This is what the country is talking about right now. And it's not just a matter of making sure that we get more coverage than Donald Trump. What this represents is that this is where the actual power lies. There's a reason that Trump is trying so hard to make sure that Americans feel powerless. It's because he knows that this amount of people have the power to topple what he's doing right now. This amount of people have the power to make sure that Republicans don't stay in control in the House and the Senate and the White House. And that's what this represents right now. We've been here before when we see a Trump administration that is engaged in so much overreach that the people have risen up, just like they did in 2017 and 2018, so that Democrats could take the House by the biggest margin in modern American history. And that is exactly what we're poised to do again. We saw women's marches in 2017 where millions of people took to the streets, and if you look behind me, millions of people are again taking to the streets. And so we know how this story ends. But of course, it requires people staying engaged, staying activated, recognizing that none of this is a given. None of our democracy is a given. We have to fight for it every single day. And so my request to all of you, if you're not out protesting today, or even if you are out protesting today, that you find 5, 10, 15 people in your circles and make sure that they recognize the stakes of this upcoming election, make sure they stay engaged, make sure they know what's going on. This is the most important moment right now. We are teetering on the brink. We are on the precipice right now of either preserving our democracy or losing it outright. This shows that the energy is in our corner, but we have to run this thing all the way through the finish line. So to everybody who showed up today, to everybody who shared footage today, to everybody who made this thing a success today, to Indivisible, to the millions of Americans who came out, thank you, but recognize that our work is not done. This is just the beginning, and we're gonna keep going until the very end. So as you can see right now, in LA, we have all of these troops stationed here. This comes in the aftermath of Donald Trump federalizing the National Guard and sending in the Marines into this city. But for as intimidating as these guys want it to look, this is what actual power looks like. We've got hundreds of thousands of people on the streets right now, pouring and pouring and pouring down the streets. We've been standing here for a half hour and the throngs of people do not stop. And so this is exactly what we want to see in the face of these intimidation tactics by this administration. Before you go, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more and support independent media, please subscribe to this channel. The subscribe button will be right here on the screen. But second, the reality is that we are now in a political environment where this administration can lean on any of the social media platforms to suppress certain voices if they don't like critical coverage. That means my longevity here is in the hands of a few tech billionaires who are already making it clear that they are willing to cater to this administration. To that end, signing up for my newsletter is a way for me to reach you directly if that ever becomes necessary. I'll put the link right here on the screen as well, so please sign up. It's free, but there's also an option to do a paid subscription if you'd like to support me and my team. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching.